This video is brought to you in association with Thrustmaster. Click on the link below and check out more of the Thrustmaster range. Hello viewers, and here we are with a bit more race room racing experience. It's been a fair few weeks since I've covered any of this. I have been playing it from time to time, did make a couple of videos which never made it onto the channel, and this week with the 2014 WTCC cars being made available, I thought why not jump on and take a look at the progress that's been made so far. So first things first, I was just simply arranging my seat position, getting that set up in the car, and just getting a feel for it in terms of getting the graphics set up so they're nice and smooth. I generally tone down the detail, but the detail is very impressive. New car models look very nice, and certainly from where it was a couple of years ago, it's moved a long way forward in terms of handling, feel, physics, input, and especially with the force feedback that we have. I'm racing here in the Chevrolet of Tom Coronel. Met Tom before. He's a very he's a fun character to spend time with, has to be said. And I can imagine in the racing car, he's also very exciting to watch. A very bold man, and he helps out a lot on the GT Academy. And he likes to convey a lot of that knowledge to the drivers as well, certainly energise them, as I like to say. So it's good speaking with him. As for the car I'm racing, well, I tried adaptive AI first, but I found that I was winning very easily. I was just overtaking them all in the first few corners. Then I've set this to 100, but it goes to 120, so I thought, well, I'll set it to 100, run a race today, see how it looks. Racing around Zandvoort circuit, I think's brilliant circuit, nice corners, nice flow to it. It's always different on every sort of game or sim you play on. It's very different, my approach to this, as it would have been on iRacing on some corners. But either way, it still felt reasonably natural. I'm not really getting the most out of the car. One thing I do have though with racing experience, I still find the cars quite bouncy at times. They do seem to bounce around a lot. Your view bounces a lot. Not so bad in the new cars. I find in the old cars, such as the Radical, doesn't handle so well. The Radical, for example, the wheels spin up, but the AI don't seem to have any grip problems. And the car bounces around so much, and the view bounces that I just, I can't see where I'm going half the time because it's bouncing up and down. But the new cars have been modelled better, handled better, looked better, and certainly was a lot of fun to play. There was a slight issue with the early version on this. I tried a couple of days ago. I was racing around in the Honda and it had no engine sound. I'm sure that's been sorted now. There's lots of other tweaks, and we look forward to the new circuits coming in Fos Macau coming to it as well. So racing around here, again, what am I doing? I'm just sort of learning what gears to take corners in and how much quicker I can go. Visibility was okay, but I found the front pillar there just sort of in the way of some of the apexes when I was making some of the left-hand corners. Certainly just a slight issue for me when turning in. Obviously the driver has to deal with that. No triple screen controls, and I think that's what raises something for me again. Still no triple screen controls for it. I would really like to see those implemented, because again, much like Project Cars and the Le Mans video I've put up, it's really difficult judging how wide the car is. In the Project Cars video, there's a moment when I touch some grass, and that's really down to the fact that I'm struggling to judge the width of my car. Happens a lot in Monaco as well when you're racing around there, so it's something that would help in terms of judgment of corners and visibility. As I was braking quite late there, felt the back end losing it, but was quickly able to get regain control, and that's great in these sorts of racing simulations. You're not just some games you just lose it and you ice skate completely off the course, and I think no, there should be a way to sort of regain control when you're on the limit, and that's great, and that just shows how much later I could be braking for some of these corners. I'm not always pushing on the limit in these videos. Often I'm pushing reasonably quickly, but with room for error in terms of completing the race. So overall then, this is a really nice positive addition to race room racing experience. The package continues to evolve, continues to improve, and so far it's been good fun to play. I'd like your feedback on this. What do you all think of race from racing experience. What do you think of it online? What would, if there's certain cars and courses you'd like to see us cover, do let me know. It's something that we can look at covering in the future. But certainly the newer cars, the newer additions seem to handle and feel and will run a lot better. Tricky corner, that one. You want to accelerate earlier, but it just goes on and on, that corner. And again here, I'd like to carry through more speed, but the car drags really wide, pushing out on the exit. And again here, this is sort of progressive. I want to be flat, but the car doesn't quite make it. You've got to wait for it to open out and progressively apply the throttle, maximise your exit speed. Very important to get good exit speed down the straight. I like this first section of the track though, because it's positive camber. You know, you can get the car in, slides out on the exit. That feels really satisfying. And this, I love this corner. You know, you really turn in early, knowing the car's going to understeer, sweeps through the corner, really nice feeling. And in here, I start wide and then cut in on the final part of the corner to give myself good drive on the exit there as well. So really nice flowing sections. You just don't get this with modern racetracks. You know, the Herman Tilke circuits, I'm not a fan of them. And that's why I've not run Shanghai in this video. I don't like the circuit myself. It's never appealed to me. It's so wide. It's like Malaysia. I don't like Malaysia either. I think it's too wide and again lacks the personality of these older circuits, which I think and this technically, when it was made, was a modern design circuit. It was meant to be the new safer F1 circuit, but either way the challenge, the undulation, the look, the feel was so much more about the driving, whereas now it's more about spectating than driving in many respects. And I say that due to layout, look, camera placement, all these things that go into it now. Whereas before it was just about making a good course with the area you had and maximising that. But either way, I've enjoyed it. Going a bit wider on that corner there. Again, that was that on and on corner that trying to find more speed. The car just wouldn't get into some of the corners. As soon as you got on the power, it would start to understeer. Maintaining the lead. I will try this again on the 120 AI at some stage as well. Some of the different courses, see how I get on. Certainly again, do lots and lots of laps and you'll improve. So one thing about all of these racing titles, you know, if you look at the top players, what they do lots of laps, you get really good technique, but also sometimes little things, knowing what gear to enter and exit a corner. Knowing some cars where you expect to take a corner in second, if you do it in third, you get better traction. You know, so there's little tweaks to improving lap time and knowing how to maximise it. And once you do that, you can suddenly save half a second a lap, and suddenly you're from, you know, top 150 in the world to top 50 in the world just because of a gear change. So it's little things that really make the difference on these sort of straights and getting traction out of corners as I can run this final lap. Nice replays as well. I'm not seeing the replays as I'm commentating this to you, but we will have the replay at the bottom, hopefully. And other than that, yeah, good fun. So it's nice to see R3E coming along nicely. And I'll negotiate these final few corners. Just wanting to keep it clean now, not necessarily pushing too hard. Again, we want to get to the end of the video, record it, and in the can, as it were. And that's it. And I'm going to be working on catching up on a couple of other videos, preparing for E3, stacks of E3 content this week. And as I go down the final straight, that's it from me, as ever. And I'll see you.